This show is brought to you by the Deluxe Edition Network. Head over to the Den.show for other great podcasts.
We'll do it live! Fuck it!
Hey everybody, welcome to the very first episode of Deluxe Edition Presents On the Road with Casey. Joining me today on the very first episode of On the Road, my co-host on Deluxe Edition, a classic pop culture podcast, Mr. Bill Sebald. How are you, sir?
Wow, this is weird. We're doing it in reverse. Okay, that was very strange. I'm doing good, Casey. How are you?
Good, man. How did I do?
That was
Not
pretty
bad,
good.
huh?
That wasn't
Yeah,
bad. That wasn't bad.
I've had like 6 years of experience just sitting back in the co-host chair.
Yeah. You pick up a thing or two about hosting? Yeah. Is that what you're trying to say? Okay. So I'm curious, what are you doing here, buddy? What is this, this sideshow that you've created?
Little sideshow. So if you're a regular listener of the show, I do travel for work every week, and occasionally I get a little bit of free time. And I've toured museums, parks. That's how I have the you can see the official muffler man I am on Instagram. I started finding these muffler men around the country. So I thought this sort of ties into pop culture a little bit, especially with this first episode. Today we're going to be going inside of the Ohio State Reformatory, also known as the Shawshank Prison. What do you think of that, Bill?
I think that's pretty cool. Now, the Shawshank Prison, it was a huge prison in the movie. How big was it when you were there? Because movie tricks, I never know if something is all at the location or half a shot at the studio, half a shot at the location. What was the size of the prison?
It's huge. It is absolutely huge. And then after doing the research for this episode, I found out that they tore a lot of the prison down after it was closed.
Must have been a lot of bad guys in those days.
Well, that's the thing. All right, so we're gonna get into it. Should I pull the video up here?
Yeah, show us what you got.
All right. So, all right. I'll be honest with everyone here. If you follow along with our other show, I smoke a lot of pot, and so like I was taking pictures most of the time through this, and then I realized, oh, I'm the only one in this giant prison. Why am I not taking video? Like I was the only person in this place until I got towards the end, and then I saw another 2 people. But yeah, it's huge. So I apologize. Going forward with these, I will have more video now that I realize I can do something with these. But going into this, into the prison, it's going to be a few pictures as I talk over them. And Bill and I will be here on the side and give you a little bit of history of the Ohio State Reformatory. This is driving in here, Bill. The Ohio State Reformatory was built in 1886, or between 1886 and 1910. It remained open and in operation until 1990, when a federal court ruling ordered the facility to be closed. And we'll get into that in a little bit. It's currently open to tourists 4 days a week from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Actually just opened April 1st until September 2nd. And if you want me to stop anywhere to these photos, Bill, and ask any questions or anything, just please let me know.
I actually would love to know. I mean, this looks like this is a prison. This is a bad place, but it looks gorgeous. I mean, it looks like you're going into a college, like a really old Ivy League college, and with historic buildings and just gorgeous design. And you're telling me this is a prison. So far, I'm like, this looks awfully nice.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to pause it here till I catch up. Actually, you mentioned the architecture of it, Bill. It was actually built by Levi Schofield, who used 3 different architectural styles: Victorian Gothic, Richardsonian, and Romanesque. He did this to encourage the inmates to become reborn back into their spiritual lives. The creation and construction, however, was entrusted to F.F. Schnitzer, whose name is actually on the Cornerstone, which will be coming up on here in a little bit. This, Bill, is the electric chair, the actual electric chair from the Ohio Penitentiary in Columbus. There were never any executions performed at the Ohio State Penitentiary. But this chair right here was used for 315 executions between 1897 and 1963.
Wait a minute. You've lost me. This chair wasn't used at the penitentiary, but it has been used elsewhere, and so now they kind of brought it here as a museum piece.
Yeah, it was actually this is a picture of when it was actually at the other place. It was actually in the Ohio prison, which was in Columbus, the Ohio Penitentiary between 1897 and 1963. So yeah, 315 people died in that chair. I wasn't reading through a lot of this stuff when I was there at the prison, but like reading that and then like I remember being in that room and it just being like eerie, like with that chair, like you know what I mean? Like
Did it smell like cooked people?
No, it's behind glass, so you couldn't smell it at all. But no, it just felt like knowing that all those people like that people died in that chair and like it was definitely an eerie feeling.
Mm.
So this is the Cornerstone that I was talking about. Do you know what like a cornerstone is, Bill?
I mean, I would think it's stone in the corner of a building.
Yes. The cornerstone, you're very close. The cornerstone is actually the very first stone that they lay for a building. And then they put, do you see that? Can you see the open box inside there?
Yeah, so it looks like just brick, and then somebody rips some brick out.
Yeah, so this brick was, or this stone, the cornerstone was laid in November 4th, 1886. And the contents included the Constitution of the State of Ohio, the law creating the Ohio State Reformatory, and also the blueprints for the facility. There was a barrel of flour in the box for some reason, and a proof set of 1886 silver coins. And among the coins was a 3-cent piece, a very rare 3-cent piece, which was the price of a stamp at the time. And there was also a silver 1-cent piece in there, which wasn't called a penny at the time because they still called pennies. They still called the coin a penny in England. So for whatever reason, I don't know when that transferred over that we started calling our 1-cent piece a penny, but yeah, pretty cool. I don't know where I didn't see that stuff anywhere. I'm not sure if that stuff is at the museum, if the coins are there, or where that stuff is. But
well, let me ask you. Okay, so you're talking about a cornerstone like it's a concept, and you saying it's the very first stone they put down. Cool, I get it. But is it a common thing to say, hey, this is the first stone we're going to put down? We're going to bury a box with blueprints and coins. Like, is that a common thing? Is that just something unique they did? And it's kind of like we're looking for a treasure that was just coincidentally found one day.
No, I believe that's a common. It was a common practice, especially back then.
I see.
Especially back then.
Especially.
Exactly. All right, moving along here throughout the video. All right, so here, this was Warden Norton. Remember Warden Norton? Played by actor Bob Gunton. And this was during the pandemic. And then I realized I'm the only person in this prison I'm not wearing a fucking mask. Here's me with Haywood, played by William Sadler. There's me with Clancy Brown, Captain Hadley. Remember this scene, Bill, with everyone at the table? And
they looked a little bigger in the movie, I gotta say.
Yeah. There's Tim Robbins. There's me you can actually sit at the table. It's pretty cool. There's I forget his name. Gil Bellows, I believe. So this is up here in the office of the so like they left this. I'm just gonna pause it here for a second. When they stopped filming here, they filmed the Shawshank Prison, or the Shawshank Redemption rather, in 1993 or 1992, something like that. It was only a couple years after the prison had closed down. And when the prison closed in 1990, they just they left pretty much everything just the way it was. And then the film crew came in and added a few things, like made a couple rooms look really nice, for the for the thing, for the filming of the movie, and then they just moved along also. So I'm going to pause here for a second because they say that this prison is one of the most haunted prisons in the country, and so I'll tell you a little bit about why it got closed down too. So in 1933, the prison, it just was getting too overcrowded, and the living conditions had deteriorated. As you can see, like as we're going through, like you can see the paint. It's probably lead paint coming off the walls. Like as we get through the video here, I'll just play through here. You'll see once you get into the cells. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to pause it again here. This chair was right inside of that room where it said, "This is the most haunted place in the prison." Like, so they just, I believe this is so you could just go sit in this room and like get haunted. Maybe I wanted no parts of that shit. I'm not interested in being scared.
But you love horror movies.
I love horror movies. I don't want it to happen to me.
But what if the ghost is Casper? I mean, he seemed pretty cool to be around.
All right, Casper was cool.
You're missing opportunities.
All right, so yeah, as we'll get through here, it was actually supposed to be only, I think, for like 1,900 prisoners. It was built for 1,900 prisoners, but a lawsuit was filed in 1978 against the prison on behalf of the 2,200 prisoners incarcerated there. And after being tossed around in the court system for years, it was determined that it was unfit to serve as a prison, and it closed its doors as a correctional facility in 1990. So think about that. The lawsuit was brought up in 1978. It took them 12 years to fucking get it shut down.
Yeah. They were probably pissed. Like for those 12 years, that was probably a lot of bitching and moaning and screaming. How did what was it ultimately shut down for? Why was it unfit?
Too many people. It was overcrowded for one. Like
okay.
you'll see when we get into the rooms here. They're 8x5 rooms, 8 feet long by 5 foot wide. My wingspan, right now, this is over 5 feet. So think about that with 2 people in each cell, sometimes 3.
I got like that. Put 10 in.
All right. So yeah, going back, we're gonna get into Brooks' room here in a second. The prison is extremely haunted, both by many inmates who serve time there and by employees who work there. It's been featured on several paranormal related television shows, including The World's Scariest Places. So, all right, this is where I started taking the video. So Brooks, remember Brooks when Brooks hangs himself, the old man, when he leaves prison? Yeah. That was actually filmed here in this room right here. It's pretty wild. And actually, I'm not gonna lie to you, when I came around the corner and I saw Brooks standing there, it scared the shit out of me.
But there you're stoned, you're walking around terrified of cardboard.
So there you can see remember when he hung himself there and he scribed his name, and so was red. It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat to.
Is that from the production, or was that kind of put back there as a
yeah, no, this was filmed right here.
All right.
Yeah, this, like I said, they filmed. The only thing I think that they didn't film the prison scenes, they didn't actually use the actual cells. They filmed that elsewhere just because of the way that they had to, escape and all that. Or that how he had to escape through the wall, because the walls are different in the cells that they have here at the prison.
That makes sense.
So yeah, just moving along. It's just crazy, like how much stuff they just left behind. And then also, like, I found it very not, I don't know, weird or what, but like you can see, like, there's no one around. Like they say that you're under 24 hour, like under surveillance, but I didn't see any cameras anywhere.
They're talking about the ghosts.
But you can see like all, the walls deteriorating and stuff.
Yeah.
You can see all the paint. Each one of those numbered things that's on the wall that you see me stopping at the beginning of the tour, you can buy these like cell phone type things that you can press the number in that's on the wall and then it'll tell you. I had one with me, but I stopped at the very first one and it was like a 20-minute long talk and I was like, I don't need to know this much about it. So actually the one that it was funny. I wanted you to hear it, but I stopped at the one and it says like number 23, learn about learn about the paranormal activity in this area. I just say, no, thanks.
You say, feet don't fail me now. Getting out of there.
So this is the chapel. Walking up here into the chapel. This was pretty cool. This was used every Sunday and could accommodate all 1,900 prisoners at one time. But in 1928, there was another chapel built outside that was converted, and then this one was converted into a Catholic chapel. The prison did try to provide an outlet for all spiritual beliefs at the prison. There was only ever one escape attempted at the prison, and it was here in the chapel. They said that 3 inmates were always allowed to be with the priest, and occasionally he would leave them alone. And some other inmates noticed dust on the floor and found the tunnel that they were trying to escape through.
Oh wow! So some other inmates accidentally narked on another inmate. What's all this dust? It's like somebody's trying to carve a tunnel to escape this prison.
Yeah. So this is the Eastern Cell Block. This is still considered one of the most or the single freestanding cell block in the country. Like, so we'll get to the other end of it and you can see a big picture of it from the window. But this is just like in the middle of a room. Like it's 5, I believe it was 5 levels high, and it's just in the middle of a room. Like it's not connecting to anything. That's why they wouldn't have been able to film the escape scene from these cells, because there's no way that anyone would, like, to get out of these cells, you would either had to go out the front of the door, or you would have just gone to the cell next to you, or then in the back of the cell there. I think I have a shot of it in one of these scenes coming up, but behind the cell is where the guard would just walk, like, pace back and forth, I guess, behind the cells.
Yeah. Wow.
Which is, I mean, I was in prison, dude. I don't know if you knew that. I spent a night. I spent 24 hours in prison.
Would you steal a purse?
No, I got a DUI in 2004, and then I broke my. Here's that thing I was telling you about, where behind the cells where the guards would walk.
That's killer.
Yeah. So I broke my probation after I got my DUI. I had to spend a night in Berks County Prison. My cell did not look like that. I mean, I was in with another person, okay? But you can see how small these cells are here. Like, that is not meant for 2 people. It's crazy. So this is something they like I said, they just left stuff and then put signs up and was like, here's the stuff that was used in the prison. What I was saying earlier is I find it very, like, just weird that you're allowed to walk around in here, like, by yourself. Isn't it, like, kind of creepy?
It's very creepy. It's claustrophobic. It's like nothing I've ever walked through.
Yeah.
Go
ahead. Sorry. This cell right here, this James Lockhart, He was serving a 1 to 15 year prison term for assaulting someone else with the intent to kill. On February 6th, 1960, he took his own life by setting himself on fire in this cell. So, like, that's some of the shit that haunts this prison. This guy that set himself on fire. I'm sorry I cut you off. What were you saying?
Maybe it was Richard Pryor.
No, it was James Lockhart.
Yeah, James Lockhart. I mean, it's just, there was a scene in Cabin in the Woods. I don't know if you know this movie, but it's like when they, at the end, the trick, the surprise ending, and they pan down. That's what this looks like. Cell upon cell upon cell. Everyone's just kind of like locked together. It's like when you look at your favorite movie, The Matrix, like when all the people are all lined together. That's how this feels.
Yeah. It was definitely creepy, man. Like by the time I left, I was creeped out. Like it's especially like I mean I did see a couple people towards the end. I think you can see them in my video, one of the videos here, but like I said too, it was the height of the pandemic, so that's probably like there might be more tour, like there may be more tours and stuff that they do when a global pandemic isn't going on. But definitely being in there by myself was really creepy.
Yeah. And you're not, I mean, we all know you're not a very brave person, so
Yeah.
It's not like you would do something crazy like wrestling in front of hundreds of people.
I was a different character then. I was Zach Lee.
So what is this area then? Is this looks a little more, yeah.
Yeah, this was used as the library. Library used for the rehabilitation of inmates. So originally, this prison was opened as like a reformatory. They called it a reformatory. They wanted you to come in, spend a few, the least amount of time here, reform, and move along. Move into society. This is the photo op place for the Ohio State Reformatory. Like this is like their photo op. It's really cool shot looking down. You can see all the different levels of the cells and how it's just completely in the center of this room. Like it looks exactly the same on the other side. There's a space between the outside wall and the cell.
Yeah, you're saying that you were here during the beginning, the most crazy part of pandemic. I was actually going to do a photo shoot here. I'm a photographer. Check out From the Rooftops Photography. I'm a photographer, and somebody had set out an invite to some people to come and shoot here, and they had to close it because of pandemic. And I'm looking at your video, and I'm going, "Damn, this would have been way cooler than I even realized." Because this is great. Yeah. This is just a gorgeous looking. I'm sure it's full of asbestos and lead, just like you said. But yeah, I bet it's nothing. Like I'm watching this, I'll bet being there, it's just a night and day difference because watching it can't give it justice. I've been in some of these old places like this, and being there is part of the feel. So unfortunately, I have not been here yet, but I hope I get a chance to shoot down there at some point in the future.
Yeah, definitely. I really highly recommend this tour, especially, if you're into the Shawshank prison. And there was actually I didn't realize it, but there were actually several other movies filmed here, or at least parts of movies filmed here. What we're seeing now, this here is this was used as the hospital area of the prison. What would they call that? The infirmary?
Yeah, probably.
So yeah, coming up here, you'll see they never took these big like posters or prints down of, I believe it's Stalin and someone else. And I was like thinking, why would they have that shit there? And I sent it to my girlfriend, and she, reassured me that yes, that's Stalin, and I can't remember who the other one is. Maybe you'll be able to see in the. This was the Eastern Shower. Maybe you'll be able to tell me who the portrait is, but it's because there were other movies filmed there, and they, like I said, they just like Hollywood just left their shit there and never took it down. Harry and Walter Go to New York took place here in 1975. Tango and Cash was filmed here in 1988, which the prison was still in operation during both of those times. And then Shawshank was filmed in 1993. And then filming for Air Force One took place in 1996. And then they actually built another wall, and the band Godsmack filmed their Awake music video here in the year 2000.
Nothing since then? That seems kind of crazy. Feels like you could use this setting. You could use this setting for so many movies.
Yeah.
You can even, I mean, you shoot this right, and you can make it even not look like a prison. You can make it look like a haunted house.
Yeah. Actually, I think they do haunted. They do haunted attractions here in October months, October, November. Pretty sure. Do. So I hate to break it to everyone, but we're going to be coming up on the end here, and then we're going to show you a little movie magic here, Hollywood movie magic, that I hate to break it to everyone. But you know, the tunnel that he tunneled through at the end of the movie, or towards the end of the movie.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you a little something here, a little secret, little movie, Hollywood movie secret. This was the other shower on the other side. I believe the west shower. But yeah, I believe that they're all the money that they're getting. You can see in some of the shots that there's a lot of construction going on. I think like all the money that they're raising. See, there's scaffolding. They're putting back into the prison, you know, to try and make it nicer.
Yeah.
So when the prisoners were brought into the prison back in the 1800s, they actually built the prison, 1896 to 1910, and this is like the sewer. This is the actual sewer system for the prison, not the sewer system that the movie used. They just had that cut open for some reason. And then originally, this is the list of 150 prisoners that were brought in. They were transferred from the Ohio Penitentiary to here. And then I took a picture of this just because this was the original 150 list of the prisoners. I just wanted to show you some of the things.
I see it already. John Doe.
Yeah. Do you see what he was brought in for?
Being a tramp? What? What does that mean? What was a tramp back then?
I don't know, but that's like I took a picture of this because this guy, poor Frank Monahan, he got 3 years for picking a pocket. For pocket picking.
Nowadays, you know, Congress can call you in and you don't have to go, and you don't even go to jail for that. This guy went to jail for pocket picking.
I'm pretty sure you can steal up to $1,000 worth of merchandise in any store across the country right now, and they will not prosecute you.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not against it. I'm pretty good. All right, who's stealing 1 year? Make it 5.
Make it 5. All right. I paused on that.
Yeah, I mean, look at this shooting. You got 18 months for a shooting.
All right, here it is.
3 years.
Here it is. So this is the tunnel, and this is how they used or how they filmed it. It's called forced perspective. It's a technique which employs optical illusion to make an object appear further away than it actually is.
Amazing.
So they made this pipe look 500 yards, and coming up here in I believe the next photo that you'll see, you can actually see the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. How about that?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. But even him digging or crawling through that fucking little pipe, you know? So yeah, here's just a better thing. It was filled with sawdust, chocolate syrup, and water to create the appearance of sewage. It's actually only 18 feet long, and he crawled to freedom through 500 yards of smelling foulness. I can't even imagine.
Of smelling foulness. I can't even imagine. I wish I could do an impression of him. I wish I could.
Yeah,
he's got the best voice.
I made sure I got a picture of that These were the props used in the Shawshank Redemption.
Mm-hmm. Just because we were afraid we wouldn't believe you.
Yeah. So here, this was actually where the guards would stay. This was the guards room, and here you can see a really good shot of both sides of the cell block. It was also used as the mess hall in the movie. So remember when they were all eating? Like this was the scene in the movie where this was like the cafeteria mess hall. They had these fucking things everywhere. These
mess halls?
No, these cutouts of people, Morgan Freeman and different actors. But here you see that this is the west end and the east. So, and then the guard shack was right in the center. There's the shot from the movie. Yeah, but so the west end and the east end, and then the guard shack right in the center. There was a riot there back in the early 1900s. I think I have it written down somewhere, 1930 or something like that. There was a riot. And so I'm just going to pause here while I tell this little story. From what I read, the guards made over 200 prisoners. I think it was 220 prisoners. They were in like a room that they shouldn't have been in for over a week without water or food. Like because of this riot, they trapped them in this room and held them there for over a week without food and water.
The rioters.
The rioters.
Yeah.
And apparently, like, some of them went fucking crazy and, like, murdered each other and, like, all kinds of shit went down. Fucking crazy. I would, like I said, never want to go to prison again.
Yeah.
So here's the, this must have been, I think this was from Air Force One. The movie Air Force One, I believe there was a Russian prison in the movie. And there's your General Stalin, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure who this guy is. Maybe you can tell me who this guy is. He's over here next to Stalin. You know who that is?
Yeah. Don't you know your Russian history?
No, I'm sorry.
That would be Gorbachev.
That is not fucking Gorbachev. I
know. I'm not giving you the answer. You have to go do some studying.
I know Gorbachev. That's not him.
His name is Ivan Vodka. His name is Yakov Smirnov.
All right, folks. This is the end of the tour. You say goodbye to the guard here. Say, get the fuck out. You walk down these steps, make it right, and you're out the door. What they did, like the remodeling and stuff that they did to this, though, so far is really nice. They put a lot of effort into this rehab of this building. And the new prison is actually right out back. You in the one in the mess hall. If you look out back, the new prison's right there.
They did knock this one down. They're keeping it around because it's a tourist attraction.
Yep,
that's the only reason, huh? All right.
Yep, yeah, and tours are open right now. Like I said, April 1st, I think, through September, and then the haunted stuff starts. So highly recommended if you're in the Mansfield, Ohio area. They have a gift shop at the end with all the different movie merchandise and T-shirts and patches, pins, all kinds of different stuff.
Well, tickle our ass with a feather. Who are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go next? What's gonna be part 2 of this new series that you have started? So now you can't stop.
I can't stop. How about we've talked to Doug Danger on the show before. You know, I'm a big fan of Evel Knievel. How about the next show? I'll take you inside the Evel Knievel Museum.
All right. I want to see the cliff.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the cliff. I'll put that in there. The cliff is not near the museum, but I'll throw that in there.
I want to see you jump in.
I don't have a video of me, but there is something very cool at the museum that you will see. And I don't have a video of it. I'll throw a video of someone else doing it, but not me. But I have a photo of me. They have a really cool, I'll tell you right now, they have a really cool 4D jump at the
4D. Isn't that like when they splash in the face with wind and water to really make you feel like you're there?
Yeah, and it's fucking cool, man. It's really cool. So definitely check out the Ohio State Reformatory in Mansfield, Ohio. If you're there, I think it's $25 for the tour and the gimmick that tells you everything. Definitely worth it. You can take as much time as you want. They don't try and rush you out. There's, like I said, I didn't see anybody other than 2 other guests there. So, all right, Bill.
And I got to tell you, I think the greatest thing that I know now is to make good feces. It's chocolate syrup, water, and sawdust. It's always important to walk away with at least one learning. So I do appreciate knowing that now. Thank you, Casey. This was very cool.
No problem, buddy. Yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed, and definitely check out our other podcast, Deluxe Edition, a classic pop culture podcast. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. We are everywhere. I just noticed Bill sent me a private chat. The Den logo is not fucked up. And we will see you next week.
That's not supposed to be aired. Have a good one, Casey. Until next time, everybody.